everyone. Happy March. It's Dr. Naomi Wolf, not a medical doctor. Don't arrest me. And I'm back with what are turning out to be very popular, which I appreciate, episodes about natural healing, lost remedies, and lost and forgotten hair and beauty treatments that are not pharmaceutically based, because the more we learn about these murderous wretches who want to, make us sick or kill us off, the less trust I think we should have in any corollary of theirs, because they're perfectly capable of making things worse for us before they make things better. So today I'm going to be talking about two subjects. One is, can you get over a cold or a flu in 24 hours with two very formerly well-known herbs? We'll talk about that. And the other is, could there be something in your commercial shampoo that is ruining your sex life? No joke. So we'll get to both of those. But first, as you know, I always share, my personal journey, because I'm kind of experimenting on myself in this process and reporting honestly to you the good and the bad and the ugly. And so I will share, I'm not proud of it, but I'm a human being, that for the last, I guess, 2 weeks before I caught a bad cold 24 hours ago, I was partying every night. Like, I literally went out to events and saw my friends, and there were martinis, right? I discovered hard liquor late in life, and it's super fun to sit around with a bunch of friends and have some cocktails. That said, moderation, right? So I had overdone it, and I was tired and run down. So, because I've shared that the last time I got tired and run down traveling, I healed myself pretty quickly with a mixture of herbs, and I shared that on social media. But this time around, I just decided, you know what, I'll just stop drinking, because it's not a great habit to get into so much. So I stopped drinking, and literally 48 hours after I stopped, after my body realized there was not going to be a cocktail tonight, I got a really severe cold or flu. And I was miserable, like aching body, super, that head cold thing where you're just sniffling and sneezing. And I mean, I won't gross you out, but it was very yucky and miserable. Well, my whole orientation and understanding of what the body is doing is in the process of changing, as you know. In the past, I might have asked my husband to go get me some antihistamines over the counter, like Sudafed or Theraflu treatment or some commercial over the counter treatment to get rid of my really unpleasant cold or flu symptoms. And this time around, I had a different perception from all the research I've been doing of what could be going on. So this time around, I realized, well, when we get sick, often our body is trying to restore equilibrium, to get rid of things that we should not have inside of us, to detox, to purify and heal, which is what our body wants to do always, right? The great, great miracle of, creation. But I would add the special miracle of the human body is that it is always aiming to heal itself. So this time around, I thought, all of this gunk that I'm dealing with, all these aches and pains, all this grossness and sweatiness and unpleasantness, could be, my liver purifying, my lymphatic system purifying, my blood purifying, and I will just, instead of suppressing these symptoms, I will just, as Brian would say, embrace the suck and make myself as comfortable as I can and let this happen. And meanwhile, I did know enough to ingest lots and lots of fluids to make the, famous Jewish penicillin chicken soup. And see, I'm still a little sniffly. And this time around, and also I reached for and it's kind of instinctive at this point, but after I reached for them, I looked them up, and sure enough, anti-flu, antihistamine, two really well-known before 1910 herbs that used to be useful and recommended for cold and flu, which are lemongrass and stinging nettle. So actually, lemongrass is not, here it is. It's not indigenous to North America. It's grown mostly in Asia, and it's very common in Asian cooking. And so I'll just tell you, it's incredible. It treats cold and flu, according to netmeds.com. Powerful antibacterial and antifungal properties of lemongrass help in healing cold, cough, and flu. The goodness of vitamin C, A, and antioxidants triggers the immune system and keeps diseases at bay. Brew a hot cup of lemongrass tea with a dash of turmeric and tulsi leaves. This effective concoction facilitates to ease the congestion and mucus from the chest and soothes sore throat. So that's one summary of why lemongrass is especially good for cold and flu. And this site points out that lemongrass is a tall and stocky plant native to India and Sri Lanka that renders a fresh lemon smell and a citrus zest to the cuisine, and is used extensively in Asian cooking, scientifically termed Symbopogon, and is also called barbed wire grass, silky heads, and citronella grass. It can be dried, powdered as an herb, or used fresh. And it's been used since time immemorial, points out netmeds.com, as a natural remedy in promoting sleep, easing pain, and triggering immunity. It's also used, not the subject of this episode, but we'll return to it in the summertime, as an insect repellent in candles and in aromatherapy. So I put lemongrass in my new acquisition, which is this, which I'll talk about in a minute. And the other thing I kind of instinctively reached for, and it's funny how when you start to work with herbs, I'm not an herbalist, but herbalists have said this, that the herbs kind of like beckon you. And I am finding that that's weirdly true, that maybe my unconscious remembers what I read about, but I wasn't consciously aware that I knew anything about stinging nettle for colds and flu as an antihistamine, but I reached for stinging nettle. And then lo and behold, I found out and this is ladyoftheherbs.co, and they've got a bunch of herbs here for cold and flu. And they point out that this helps to nourish the body when disease strikes. Stinging nettle supports the immune system and has antihistamine properties to combat allergies such as hay fever and asthma. It also has the ability to relieve pain by easing muscle spasms and inflammation, and it can be used to clear catarrh in coughs and bronchitis. So it supports many of the major detoxifying organs, including the liver, lungs, and urinary tract. And this is beneficial when you've overdone it, when you're sick, because it helps to remove toxins that are caused by disease. And I thoroughly confess that I had been toxifying myself by partying, eating everything, drinking everything, you know how it goes. So amazing. So many of you might be wondering, because I'm always these days going on about brewing these herbs and drinking them in a tea. And again, I don't love tea bags because it's really an attenuated way to take an herb. You don't know how old it is. You just dip it in the thing for a few minutes. I don't feel like it goes through that. I mean, now I'm getting really weird and mystical, but I don't feel like with a tea bag, it's convenient, but it doesn't necessarily go through that alchemical transformation that I feel happens. I have zero evidence for this when you actually boil and steep herbs, fresh or raw dried herbs, bulk herbs yourself. And that's why I really like buying herbs in bulk as opposed to in tea bags. It's also much, much cheaper. And I'll show you, this is like a giant container, must be at least a pound, and of lemongrass. And it's from a site I really like called Frontier Co-op. And I like it because it's cheap, again, and you can buy herbs in bulk and save a lot of money, always have the herbs that you need on hand. So, many of you might be wondering, I too have been wondering, how will I spend, how will I ingest all of these decoctions or concoctions, right? I don't have time to be brewing, cups of tea all day long. And it just seems precious and laborious. Well, don't laugh at me. I bought a Stanley Cup, and and it's changed my life. Literally, you can throw, and I've been using this ever since I caught my severe horrific flu, literally 48 hours ago. You can literally throw the herbs in the bottom of the Stanley Cup, pour in, this must be 40 ounces of hot water. It keeps your tea hot all day long. I have not solved the problem of little bits of gunk, herbal detritus floating into the straw when you get toward the end. But I'm going to get a tea ball, and then I'm just going to drop it in, and the tea ball will hang out in there all day, steep, and I will just sip and sip and sip. This is fabulous. It's changed my life. And really what I want to share is, again, instead of fighting the cold and flu or whatever it was and suppressing the symptoms, I literally, lay on the couch, blew my nose. I mean, I'm sorry to be gross, steamed in a hot shower and drank soup, and then drank lemongrass tea and stinging nettle. Literally, it's 24 hours after I just was ready to, throw in the towel, and I was so miserable. Gone. You can hear a little hoarseness in my throat, but I'm literally, ready to run out and pick up my life again. So, I'm not a doctor. That is not a peer-reviewed study. It is purely anecdotal, but I feel incredibly happy, because I guess what I feel is, I feel like my body was trying to get rid of toxins, may still be trying to get rid of toxins. I mean, alcohol is, and sugar and all the things I was eating, those are real toxins. And I feel kind of like this has been a healing process, instead of the way we're really encouraged to think about getting a bad cold or a flu in this culture, which is, how awful, we've been struck by the mucus god, let's get better at all costs by suppressing every symptom. No, maybe our bodies have wisdom and they're trying to take care of us. So that is my experience with these two amazing herbs in the hideous flu or cold of the last 24 hours, which is now in the rearview mirror. Let me go on. Let's see. Let me go on to what are we throwing out today? I've been, as you know, horrified to discover everything I've been learning about what's in over-the-counter or even high-end, very expensive hair care products, skincare products, personal, body wash products, all of it. So now that I've learned a little bit more, I decided to read what was in my medicine cabinet and in my shower caddy. And I'm especially mindful of this because that I think there could be attacks on us from all sides. In many ways, our food supply, our water supply, our air. I mean, we know about them. Our pharmaceuticals, we can't rely on a pure natural environment anymore, or rely on the Food and Drug Administration, or even pharmaceutical companies. The last 4 years have shown our surroundings can be very badly poisoned. And I don't mean to be like paranoid, just literally the case. And also we've learned that the FDA can't be trusted to test things properly, that we put Food and Drug Administration, right? They've lost all credibility. And sadly, pharma companies have lost all credibility. And I've also been startled to discover that pharma companies have bought up a lot of vitamin companies and nutraceutical companies. So you really have to, in my view, start educating. We have to start educating ourselves in a very serious way and go for non-mediated products as much as possible, and a non-mediated lifestyle as much as possible. So here I read, I'm a girl. I I'm confessing everything. All right. I love playing with hair and makeup products. I love it. Right. I like cheap fashion. I'm all the bad things. I'm just confessing it because that's how they get us, right? Through these addictions or this pleasure. So I, subscribed to something called Ipsy. And I was loving it because for not that much money, you get a, big package of new products with all kinds of cool packaging, and you can try them on your hair and face. You can try new makeup things, really enjoying it. Well, no, never again. Never again. Just looking at some of the things and what's in them. Hey, everyone, it's Dr. Naomi Wolf. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to our valued partners at the Wellness Company. It's a time now when uncertainty is lurking everywhere. Preparedness is no longer an option at the margins. It's 100% necessary. And that's where the Wellness Company's Medical Emergency Kit comes in. The Wellness Company's Medical Emergency Kit contains crucial medications such as ivermectin, emergency antibiotics such as amoxicillin, antivirals, Z-Pak. The kit is backed by the expertise of the Wellness Company and their team of renowned medical professionals, including Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. James Thorpe, Dr. Harvey Risch, Dr. Drew Pinsky, and other truth-seeking, truth-telling doctors. They have created a kit that sets the gold standard for safety and prevention, the ultimate preparedness solution. Don't wait for a medical crisis to catch you or your family off guard. Visit DailyCloutHealth.com and use promo code DailyClout for an exclusive 10% discount. Take charge of your preparedness and enjoy peace of mind. And please do support our wonderful sponsors, the Wellness Company. I wrote a book about the corruption of the beauty industry when I was 26 years old. And I've never promoted any skincare line because I didn't believe that they had honesty and integrity. This is the first that we've accepted as a sponsor. Charlotte's is made by Charlene Bollinger, who has been a pioneer in natural remedies against cancer. And that's why I'm excited about this skincare line, because so many skincare products are toxic and have carcinogens or estrogen disruptors in them. In fact, the FDA says that you can call something non-toxic as long as it's only 49% toxic. So this is 100% non-toxic, and it is a luxury skincare line, but I think that it's very valuable nonetheless because it's got, like, the first ingredient after water is aloe barbadensis leaf juice, which is real aloe. There's citrus reticulata peel, which is orange peel. There's thyme vulgaris flower leaf extract, thyme extract. There's glycerin, which I've talked about. Here's Loki. On the Wellness and Beauty series that I'm doing, glycerin is so good for your skin. It's a secret that women knew in the 19th century would protect your skin. So that's why I'm thrilled that there are sponsors. You're putting this on your skin every day, and put something on your skin that will protect it and nourish it. So this is Naomi Wolf. I'm 61 years old, which I happily tell everybody because age doesn't worry me anymore since I've discovered all these non-toxic alternative remedies. Thank you, Charlotte's Beauty, for being our sponsor, and please support our wonderful sponsors at Charlotte's Beauty. Go to charlottes.beauty, promo code DailyClout, and enjoy this lovely product. Thank you. This is called Dew of the Gods. It's an under-eye volumizing collagen pad product. It's supposed to be very right on because it's not a filler. And just so you know, for all the reasons I'm doing this series, I'm not boasting or showing off. I'm confessing fear and loathing. I've never had surgery. I don't want to have surgery. I've never had a filler. I don't want to have a filler. I'm just scared of all of that, right? I don't trust any of these people. People die under anesthetic. If you want to, God bless you. It's your body. It's your choice. I never have, and I don't want to. All right. So having said that, this is supposed to be an awesome right-on alternative because it's not a filler that you inject into your face. However, the first ingredient is high polymer hydrogel. So, blah. I do not want that in my face. It's going away. It's not a natural product. Polymer is like related to a plastic. I don't want it. And remember, what you put on your face or on your skin goes into your bloodstream. I was horrified yesterday to see that the ink from tattoos is in the lymph nodes of people who get tattoos. And of course, I'm going to tell all my beloved young people to stop getting tattoos. I mean, what we put on ourselves goes into us. The skin is the largest organ of the body. And often, it's so interesting, right? The skin tries to protect you, but often when people have skin conditions, Western dermatology treats them topically, but often they're a symptom of something internal that needs to be healed or cleansed or fixed, right? And it goes the other way around too. You can put something on your skin topically. It looks good temporarily, but it's just saturating your bloodstream with things that you do not want, or your lymphatic system, which is so important. So this is a product called, oh, by the way, I just dropped that other product in the trash. This is a product called Able Skincare London Ultra Collagen Eye Rescue Therapy. And let's see, it's got polyethylene glycol. Now, you know that polyethylene glycol is in antifreeze. Polyethylene glycol is a petroleum-derived product. And you know that I've been very upset that PEG is in the mRNA injections, because it ends up in the breast milk of vaccinated moms, making their babies horribly, horribly sick and actually killing one. So I don't want polyethylene glycol on my face. It's going in the trash. And I'm literally, just so you know, just to empower you, I literally have a trash bag. I'm breaking the taboo of consumer society by throwing these things in the trash visibly. Here we have hydrating body lotion. And I was so astonished. I'd been noticing on this journey and sharing with you that when I travel and I don't take my own homemade products or natural products with me, my skin and hair look much worse. And it's not till I kind of get home, get to either my natural non-toxic products like Charlotte.Beauty, our sponsor, makes non-toxic products, but also I make them, out of coconut oil and tallow and all the things you've been watching, glycerin and lanolin. And it's a wonderful symbiosis. But when I am traveling, I don't have that luxury. I use what's in the hotel. I mean, I need to start traveling with this stuff, but I use what's in the hotel. So this is something we picked up in the hotel, and it's from a very high-end manufacturer. It's called Kennett MD Skincare. And the second ingredient is alcohol. And so I see this a lot. Alcohol is a preservative. It keeps this stuff from going bad or smelling bad over time. But what happens when you put alcohol on your hair or on your body or on your skin? Of course, it dries it out, and very, very harsh. So this is going in the trash. This is so sad. We get attached to these things. I love this palette. I love it. It's so great. But it's not great. It's LA Colors, which is a super drugstore brand. I thought I was so clever substituting drugstore cosmetics for, high-end, more expensive department store cosmetics, because I realized they have the same things in them. Well, that's not good enough. There's Loki looking at the squirrels. That's not good enough, because as fun as this palette is, it's wonderful, very fashionable colors, very flattering. I'm just sharing, like, I'm doing this with mixed emotions, right? But we have to be strong. It has parabens, methylparaben, ethylparaben, and propylparaben, and butylparaben, multiple parabens. And so this too, sadly heartbreaking. LA Colors, I love you, but you've got to clean up your act, maybe reformulate, going in the trash. And Loon and Aster, I could not find. I mean, this is very interesting. Some of these products from Ipsy, you can't find the ingredients at all. And so now I'm just not going to risk it. If they can't put the ingredients on the product, probably means they're from a country without any kind of control at all. And I'm not going to put it on my face. Oh, I love this palette too. It's going in the trash. It's so painful. So goodbye, Luna and Aster. And I think this was from Walmart. So that is the, it's like they're unboxings. Well, this is a deboxing. This is an undoing of the boxing. So that is the second thing I wanted to call to your attention. And now there's the third thing I want to call to your attention, which is, we've talked about these parabens, right? And we know that they are estrogen disruptors. Well, I've been horrified to be finding more and more and more additives, including a recent story about additives in like Quaker Oats and processed cereals that are testosterone disruptors. I knew about estrogen disruptors. I knew that parabens were, really bad for, childbearing age women, for menstruating women, for menopausal women, for all the things our bodies need to do if we're female. I'm not even going to say biologically female. I'm just going to say female, with all due respect to whatever people want to, identify with. I'm talking about the biologically female body, right? When I say estrogen disruptors. Well, to my astonishment, there's a war on testosterone too. And now I'm just going to, again, confess and share. One of the things I've been scared to talk about in public is it's very visible to me that this generation of young men are being feminized by something in their environment. They don't look or sound like men just 2 generations older. And it's actually progressive. If you look at, pop stars from the 70s who are male, or movie stars or singers, and then you go down progressive generations, you see, and once you see this, you can't unsee it. You see, less and less of that traditionally masculine body shape, which used to be broad shoulders, narrow hips. You see less and less body hair and facial hair. You see fewer deep voices. And, even, it actually, even the jaw, like if you notice men born in this generation, born after 2000, tend to have narrow jaws, whereas just 2 generations ago, it was much more common for men to have a square jaw. So many of the things I just described, you may think, like, at this moment, if something is new in a conversation, it's so easy for the reaction to be, this is insane, right? Or what a conspiracy theory. But actually, if that's indeed the case, and it's just my observation from looking at many, 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 many humans and listening to them, but if that is indeed the case, and I think there are some studies starting to show this, though I don't have them to hand yet, but I'll get them. What could be causing it? Well, all of the things I described, the morphology of masculinity is a result of testosterone, right? It's a result of testosterone. And so if there are ingredients in the environment that are negatively affecting testosterone, it's going to have an effect on how boys turn into men. And those of you who've been following our work on the Pfizer documents know that I'm very concerned about a finding from actually Amy Kelly, our COO, and the director of the project, in which she found that these lipid nanoparticles are degrading the testes of unborn baby boys. And then we learned about the Sertoli cells and the Leydig cells, which are like the factories of masculinity. They produce and regulate the hormones that, when that little boy reaches adolescence, turns a little boy into a teenage man and then into an adult male with, again, the things we think of as deep masculinity, or at least used to till recently, right? Deep voices, body hair, broad shoulders, narrow hips, and the ability to father children, fertility, right? All of these things. So why do I bring all of this up? To my astonishment, I looked up, do parabens affect testosterone? And sure enough, ladies and gentlemen, parabens, which are in maybe half of the commercial pharmaceutically based skin and hair care products, body washes that you buy, whether high end or low end, parabens do disrupt testosterone. And here's just one such study. This is from the Testosterone Centers of Texas. And they are asking, they're saying parabens and low testosterone, could household products be affecting, damage your hormone balance? They're talking to men. And they say, what are parabens? They conclude, unfortunately, parabens are everywhere, found in everyday products like these: shampoos, commercial moisturizers, shaving gels, makeup, toothpaste, moisturizers, lotions, lubricants, shampoos, detergents, and sunscreen. Parabens are also used as a food preservative, which is an additional concern, they say. Well, they drill right in, and I want to interview these people who are protecting the testosterone of men in Texas. They spell it right out: parabens and their effects on your testosterone levels. Recent studies indicate that men exposed to parabens may suffer from a variety of health complications, including decreased testosterone production and increased production of weaker sperm that are abnormally shaped and or slow moving. They cite a 2017 research project originally published in the Journal of Occupational and Environmental Medicine, and it evaluated the possible relationship between an environmental exposure to parabens and semen quality parameters, which includes sperm chromatin structure and the level of reproductive hormones in men. And these include follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, testosterone, and estradiol. So in this study, urine samples were collected from 315 men who attended an infertility clinic for diagnostic purposes. And they had normal semen concentration, I'm learning all about semen, of 15 to 300 mLN/ml. And these were analyzed for 5 paraben concentrations. The men also provided semen, saliva, and blood samples for evaluation. The results showed that urinary paraben concentrations were significantly associated with an increased percentage of sperm with abnormal morphology, meaning shape, a greater percentage of sperm with high DNA stainability, a decrease in the percentage of motility, meaning movement, they weren't as fast, and lower testosterone overall. And they're saying, what does this mean for you? In a nutshell, scientific evidence shows that endocrine disruptors, including parabens in a man's system, possibly contribute to lower testosterone levels, poor hormonal health, and decreased fertility. All of these are a great worry. And in the meantime, they say there's more work to be done, but better safe than sorry. And they also recommend getting analyzed, basically. And I just can't even believe, I know a lot of people have gone in to get their, fertility tested to be assisted in having a baby. I don't know anyone. It seems like one of the first questions men and women should be asked is, are there parabens in your environment? And let's start by getting the parabens out of your environment. So that's it. That's my update. It means so much, right? And for the men watching, I don't want to freak you out. It's my understanding that testosterone can be boosted again in a lot of ways. I'll look into more of that later. I just want to say how much a lot of us appreciate you taking care of your testosterone. And testosterone is important for women too. Hormonal balance, of course, is important for women too. Testosterone in women goes to sex drive. Testosterone in men goes to sex drive. And I guess I just want to how can I put it? For men, right, when testosterone is low, men feel irritable, lethargic, not confident. I haven't seen these studies, but anecdotally, as a feminist cultural critic, testosterone, when men do things that boost testosterone, they feel good about themselves in general. Very interesting. Needs more investigation. But I think that there's a deeper conversation to be had here, because many things that are being done to men right now, not just the parabens in their shampoos and body care products, but, sitting in front of a screen all day, not being outside at all, pornography, which we haven't even talked about, everywhere. All of these things lower men's natural testosterone levels. And then it's a vicious cycle, right? When men are lethargic and feeling not confident in themselves and depressed, they do more things because we're human to be lethargic and not confident and depressed. But above all, what I worry about is human connection and strong relationships. And when women or men are in a state of hormonal disruption, the woman will be unbearable. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. Pick fights, be irritable, snappish, critical. The man, I don't know what men do when their hormones are disrupted, but they won't be fun to be around, grouchy, passive, depressed. And it's really bad for everyone's sex life. And all of the things, and then that's another vicious circle, right? Because if people are having a bad sex life or, delayed ejaculation or no orgasm, which are results of parabens in other studies that I'll share, that then leads to lower confidence, more depression, more divorce, right? Lower standard of living, fewer parents around the children. It's all bad. So let's save sexuality. Let's save testosterone. Let's save estrogen. These hormonal balances are very important in our world, and we were given them for a reason. And I hope that is useful for all of you to know what I've just shared with you. So if you have a cold or a flu, I'm not a medical doctor, don't arrest me. Historically, stinging nettle tea and lemongrass tea can help you with cough, phlegm. It's an antihistamine, all right, and get you over that cold or flu very quickly. And if you are feeling lethargic, losing libido, depressed, struggling with orgasm, get all of the parabens out of your body care stuff right away and have a date with your beloved. All right, that's me. And that's the end of this podcast. Remember, but I'll go ahead and read your comments in just a minute. Please remember, all of this research, hosting, social media management, very expensive. We need your help if you want me to keep bringing you these completely unvarnished, unowned reports on natural skin, hair, health treatments, wellness treatments. So support, please. It really matters. Our sponsors, twc.health, promo code DailyClout for 10% off. And if you really want to get beautiful skin and beauty products, also aromatherapy products, which boost mood. We'll do a segment on that later. Please go to charlis.beauty, promo code DailyClout for 25% off. Totally non-toxic, beautiful beauty care products. And you can also support us at dailyclout.io. Become a member or a donor at dailyclout.io or on my podcast, Outspoken. We could go on all day. It's so fascinating, right? It is so fascinating. But anyway, wrapping up, this is my love letter to you all. If you have a cold, try this. I hope you get better in 24 hours like I did. And if you're feeling depressed and lethargic and worried about your testosterone, please check what's in your medicine cabinets. And again, support our sponsors, twc.health, promo code DailyClout, and charlis.beauty, promo code DailyClout. Without them, it would be very difficult to bring you this information. So we need your help. Their stuff is amazing. Please go ahead and support them. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.